Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Monash Media Comms podcast. I'm your host, Nathan, for today. As you can tell, I'm completely alone and nobody is here with me. Um, yeah, that's certainly a decision. So it's just me today. I'll be talking about all sorts, mostly about music and television and, chudding out a little bit. But yeah, this is episode 7 of the MACS podcast, I think. I could be getting this wrong. I could be 8. I'm not entirely sure. I've not done enough right now. But I've realized some mistakes I made in the last episode. I forgot to properly plug the socials, so you will catch that at the end. I will properly plug the socials. It'll be incredible. You're about to see something generational, I would say. But anyway, the first thing I really wanted to talk about was Rolling Loud that's happened over this last weekend. I think there's still one more day going on right now with Ken Carson headlining. And, I'm not at all upset that they cancelled Rolling Loud Australia, and I definitely am not upset that I missed the opportunity to see Ken Carson's first ever headlining set, because now Orlando gets to see that, and instead of getting Youngboy, which I think is weird that Youngboy pulled out. He's in Paris right now for whatever reason, but he was spotted there. But, I didn't get to see Osamason. I didn't get to see Ken Carson, and looking at this lineup right now, their Sunday set looks exactly like Rolling Loud Australia would have been. And they couldn't even get that fucking working. But anyway, it's kind of a weird lineup they've got here. They've got Don Toliver as a headliner, and I think it's weird that Don's appeared, but not Travis Scott. But, maybe Travis is busy working on an album that's never going to release. And I'm kind of done with Travis Scott. Like, I feel like a lot of musicians these days, I'm kind of on my last straws with. I think specifically Travis Scott, I think he is still yet to drop a fantastic album. And I think that's really hurt him because he's had good moments on like pretty good albums, but he still hasn't had that absolutely fantastic 10 out of 10 whole way through. His closest was Rodeo. And if your first album is your best, something's gone wrong, I reckon. But, hopefully this next album, allegedly it's a collaboration project with Kanye, which is a decision. But, he seems to be on the up, which is promising, hopeful, good, maybe. Maybe it's a turning point in the culture. And then yesterday's set, Playboy Cardi headlining. And you know what he didn't do? Play a single new song, which is odd considering it's been over a year since new music has been played. He released 2 songs on Instagram promising Baby Boy, a new album of his, never came out. And for whatever reason, he didn't drop a 5-year anniversary for his Whole Lotta Red album on Christmas either. So he's kind of been a bit odd recently. I mean, he's always known for being mysterious, but the gimmick's kind of wearing. Like, I'm seeing a lot of people online talking about how they don't really care. They're more excited for Ken Carson. They just don't believe him anymore. And people are kind of done with it. Like, to go through an entire set, 1 whole year, and not preview a single new song of yours. Like, he previewed a Ken Carson song, but not one of his. And then Swamp Izzo is still there screaming about an album coming out, and it's tired. I would love to see something new. I'd like to see Some More and Alive properly get a release in an album on that style. I think the sound that Baby Boy was going to go for, at least with those 2 songs, was pretty interesting. But apparently it had a lot of negative reception online, so he pushed back against that. And his last album, he said himself he was just chasing Grammys, which is probably why it wasn't as experimental as people were hoping it would be. And I reckon from hearing all the leaks online, if he had released like music back in 2022, it probably would have been his greatest album. Like, he was being so experimental, it was so interesting, and nothing came from it. But anyway, they've been beefing. Playboy Cardi has been beefing with a lot of people. Oh, not Cardi himself, but Nine Vicious is dissing people in Opium. They're not happy. They're leaking phone numbers. But Cardi, though, he's gone through a nice little breakup. His ex-girlfriend, Giovanna Ramos, former lesbian, as Blaze would say. He's so funny. This guy, Blaze, he goes online. He acts like a 00 enforcer, I think he calls himself. And he puts people in the food chain. I think he's so funny. But apparently, according to Gio, Cardi doesn't think he's funny. And he actually hates him. And Gio hates him and calls him a weird parasocial fuck. Free Blaze. He didn't do anything wrong. He just loves Playboy Cardi. He's he's 25, working at Best Buy, doing his best. And he just loves Cardi. Like, let him be. And also, I can't lie. Why the fuck is Blackboy Max, like in the second row. I'll put this up on screen. But why on who put Blackboy Max on the second row of day 3? Like, this man is shambles. Why is he so high? I don't understand what's with streamers and always been like, I need to make music. Like, you've got Lucy Bedrock below Blackboy Max. Like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm kind of getting pissed off. And we got Nathan Davis Jr. in the bottom line. Shout out that guy. Sounds pretty close to my name. And seeing the day one sets, like, yeah, I didn't see anything from Chief Keef. I don't know what's going on with him. But I saw SD Kids on that castle. It was pretty cool. But Xavier's So Based, I'm so confused about. Like, I don't know if I'm liking his music or hating it. I'm leaning more towards hating it, but I'm going to his concert in Melbourne in a couple of weeks. Yeah, it's about a month from now. And my mate, she was really excited. She's like, Nathan, surely pull up. And I'm like, bet. Got the ticket. And then I actually listened to his music, and I'm not convinced, but, you know, opinions can change. They say trained ears. It's music for trained ears, is what people say. But my ears were trained for Pop Out, and that's kind of all I can stand. And, you know, Osamerson, but even then, barely. And then Too Slimy. I mean, seeing clips of Too Slimy, I think that's really funny. Too Slimy's been doing this shit. People call him the King of Mexico, most handsome man alive. I'm not going to comment on either. And Denzel Curry has just done a set at Groove in the Moo in New South Wales recently. It was actually over the weekend. And he's coming to Melbourne on Thursday for a performance at the Emerson, taking Luke Bailey's spot. And Luke Bailey needed to lose that spot because I'm not going to say anything. But I'm really excited to see Denzel Curry. Again, I saw him at the start of last year, and that was probably one of the most fun concerts I've been to. Very hectic, but I love his music, and I'm really excited to see him again. But anyway, moving on from Rolling Loud, so if I talk about it anymore, I'll get upset about Australia again. There's been a lot of developments in the story regarding a not so great man named David. And I just think it's disgusting. Like, he wasn't at Rolling Loud for obvious reasons. He's been finally formally charged in the last month or so. And, like, this man is genuinely, like, criminal. Like, he is, you know, allegedly, because I can't make any accusations until found guilty, proven guilty in a court of law. Found guilty, not proven. But it's honestly insane. Like, he's been found with CSAM material, like 40 terabytes of it on his phone, which is an insane amount of data to even have. I don't think I have like more than 8 terabytes of anything, like all combined on all my devices, which is honestly disgusting that he has all of this. He's been found to buy 2 chainsaws, which I personally believe means that he had more than one person in on this. This has made really big news all over TikTok. And like, it's honestly devastating. Like, this is a young girl he preyed upon and, you know, did awful things towards. And all the people around her just seemed like complacent in it. And it's insane that this went along for so long. Like, he pretty much talked about it very openly in his music, on his streams. Like, he kind of joked about it like for years. And it's just, it's grim. It's like really disturbing. And this man like seems to show no sympathy over it. And I'm waiting for the trial. Like, I really want to see what comes of this. Because she was only 13. Like, that's insane. And like, he was pulled from all festivals last year. Because I think this news broke in September. And he was pulled from heaps of stuff. Like Spilt Milk. I think he was pulled from Spilt Milk and other festivals. And, you know, very happy to see that he got pulled. But it's really strange seeing all the people online defending him. It kind of reminds me of Mr. Catastrophe defending a certain Soot. But, like, I don't understand how people can just defend David, because it's not like you can separate the art from the artist in this sense, because his art is so ingrained with him personally. And it's mostly talking about this situation. Like, he's pretty much been, like, hinting at it for so long. And it's really disturbing now that this news has come out and people have been putting the dots together. Like, it's been here the whole time. People have just missed it. Like, people on Reddit would talk about it, being like, hey, I'm close with Celeste. Like, David's a creep. And everyone just was like, oh, you're just making this up. You're making this up, which, makes sense to be somewhat skeptical when it's back in 2023 and there's no news. But now that it has come out and people are still defending him, it's bizarre. Like his music is a confession almost. And, I don't think that holds up in a court of law that the music itself is a confession. But to all the people watching this break out at home and defending him and separating the art from the artist is honestly bizarre. It's not like a case with other musicians where they say stuff in the future that's completely like separate from what their music would say in the past. Like I think as awful as it is, like I can't defend the people who would say separate the art from the artist from Kanye. Like I think you have to acknowledge that what he's saying is wrong. You can't really separate it. But back in the day, he would, hate he hated Donald Trump. He used to say fuck Donald Trump all the time, and now he's a red hat wearing madman. But people would still defend him, say separate the art from the artist. And in that case, you can make somewhat more of a case for it because of what he used to say. He used to stand for racial injustice until he would pretty much berate it around. But anyway, I don't really want to talk about either of those things anymore. So we're going to keep moving on. So as I talked about last time I was appeared on the podcast, I've been keeping up to date on the boys. I'm not actually up to date. I'm 2 episodes behind at the moment. I'm not going to be up to date until Wednesday when the new one comes out. But I'm torn. I'm torn. I've only watched 4 episodes of the season. There's 6 out at the moment, and seeing what people are saying online, it seems like it's only become more controversial in how it has handled its final season. It doesn't seem to be as egregious as a final season like Stranger Things or Game of Thrones, but it's certainly annoying people. Like I really had faith in Eric Kripke at the beginning of the season's rollout because he was talking about like final season not sticking the landing, and he wants to make a season that people really look back on and can say that was good. However, the season's been meandering at a really slow pace. Like they're acting like they have like more episodes than they really do. Like I'm halfway through and there's still no real clear path forwards. It feels like they're more pandering towards this prequel show that's been announced for a couple years now featuring Soldier Boy. And it feels like Soldier Boy has become more of a main character than any of the actual boys in the show, which to me it's frustrating because I mean I do like Soldier Boy as a character, but this was meant to close off the story that's been started from season 1. The story of Vought as a company and Huey fighting against them, and with like all the revelations with Butcher and all that. It got really interesting. Season 4 was a filler season, as people call it, where there wasn't like a grand finale. Like the grand finale was the plot twist with Butcher, but it wasn't as satisfying as the other seasons with the A-Train fight, Soldier Boy, Stormfront. Like those 3 seasons had really strong finishes, but season 4 just kind of ended with a plot with like a cliffhanger, really setting up a grim mood for season 5. But then season 5 just kind of undid season 4's ending. Not undid, but it kind of like it time skipped and broke everyone out instantly, which they had to do to push the plot forwards, and then had a really good final moment in episode 1. Like episode 1's ending was really good. But people have been talking about Kimiko talking mostly and comparing her dialogue to Has Been Hotel. And Has Been Hotel is one of my least favorite shows ever created. I just think it's so unfunny. It's so dull. Like, I don't think humor has to just devolve into just swearing every second. Like, that's not funny. And if you think Has Been Hotel's funny, I think just reevaluate your decisions. But I won't hate. I won't. I promise. We're friends here. You and me. You on the camera. We're friends. Unless you watch Has Been Hotel. In which case, I don't know how I feel. Okay? Yep. You and me, we're pals. We're pals. We're pals. That's all I wanted to Has Been Hotel. But episode 2 of The Boys, I don't even remember what happened in episode 2. Like, I'm trying to like scratch my head right now and think about it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened in episode 2. Episode 3, they saw Stan Edgar and Huey had a really cool fight. The fight with Maverick was really cool. I really like that. It's really like people online, it's really bizarre to see people calling Annie the worst character in The Boys. I think Annie is one of the best written characters in The Boys. Like her hidden a vape in the final season, I think it's silly, but like she's stressed. Like she's had everything go wrong. She's been labeled as like the biggest terrorist in the US, and she's, you know, not a terrorist. Episode 3, was that the actually maybe episode no, episode 4 was the chromacopia shirt one. I'll get to that in a second. But like Annie has had like the most vulnerable character in the whole show. I've really liked Annie. I've been rewatching season 1 with my brother, and I just think people saying that she's the most overrated is stemming from a point of misogyny, or if you're a woman saying it, I believe you are just seeking male attention, because there's no way you can watch the show and have a strong dislike to Annie. She's like one of the only like morally righteous characters in this entire show. She's one of the only ones that stand up against Vought in a meaningful way that doesn't involve just murdering people like Butcher does. And I just think she is probably one of the strongest written characters in the show. And I think her falling in season 4 hopefully makes the point in season 5 that she comes back to being herself, which we've already started seeing. Like when she met her dad, that was a really good episode. I really enjoyed though. Yeah, episode 4 was very good. She like met her, so she hasn't seen her dad in like 15 years, I guess, in like the show, because he just disappeared one day. But her dad, she found him, spoke to him, and his new son, is like the biggest Starlight hater. Like the way the show sort of positions it is that anyone that sides with Homelander and Vought are the Republicans, and it's ridiculous. Like Homelander is such a egomaniac, maniacal. He pretty much is a dictator. And then anyone that sides with Starlight as they call them, terrorists or libs, as they also say in the show. And like it's pretty much like it's a political thriller, and I really enjoy the show. But like Annie's dad's new son is very hypocritical in the way that he likes Tyler, the creator, who in the show has been arrested for being a Starlighter, but then he also reports Annie for being at the house to the police and almost gets his whole family fucked and sent off to a concentration camp, pretty much. Because they won't say concentration camp, but it is a concentration camp when they do it in the show. Like, I think they call them internment camps, but like in the first episode when they were showing them, they were getting killed and forced to do hard labor. So it was very clear what they were doing, but they just won't say it for whatever reason. And it's also a clear mockery of ICE. It's not hard to talk badly about them because of what they do. But, I'm quite enjoying The Boys. I just hope when I watch these new episodes on Wednesday that it ends up really good. And, I'll come back next season for the podcast and I will talk about my thoughts on the ending, because I'm sure I will have lots of them. So stay tuned for that, because in about the mid-semester break is really long. But in about 15 weeks, I think, I'll come back and I'll talk about my thoughts on the ending of The Boys. And I'm sure I'll have a lot to talk about. And it'll be a very good... I'll write it down. I'll write a whole essay down about what I think of The Boys ending. And you're going to get it. You're going to get it and you're going to enjoy it. And you're going to be like, wow, this is such a good retrospective on the show. Great job, Nathan. You're the GOAT. But anyway, on to something else I wanted to talk about. I've been getting really into Pokemon cards recently. And I've always loved Pokemon. I've loved it more than I think I realized until recently. Like, I went to Japan in 2024 and I was looking through my camera roll recently, and half the photos I took were of Pokemon. And like most of the stuff I bought were like Nintendo amiibos, which are like little figurines like Skylanders. If anyone remembers that, I miss Skylanders so much. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. It's hard to keep my breath. I need to go on like 5K runs like Kendrick Lamar does, because that man runs 5Ks every day apparently, just to like get his breath control up so he can sing for longer, which I think is really cool. But I might need to start doing that. But anyway, yeah, so half the stuff I bought were like these amiibos, and then I bought like 4 Pokemon plush actually, because I fuck with it. Like, I love it. I've been playing Pokemon since I was like 4 years old. My first ever games was Soul Silver and Heart Gold on the DS, and I'm feel very fondly of Gen 2, especially the remakes in Gen 4. And I won't tolerate Johto slander, even though it's true. But Celebi is one of my favorite mythical Pokemon of all time. And I pulled a really cool Celebi card the other day. I'll put a photo on screen because I'm very proud of it and I think it's very cool. And I'm going to keep it for a long time. But anyway, I've been opening Pokemon cards a lot recently. And I'm not disclosing the amount of money I've spent, but it's easily in the 4 digits. And it's only been a month and a half, 2 months. And I'm not proud to say that because, I went on a date the other day. I don't think I'm going to see her again. We've been on 2 dates, but I don't think we're going to see each other again. But my first thought when I was going on this date, when I was planning this, I'm like, because Ascended Heroes was dropping that day, and I was like, fuck, I can't get Ascended Heroes. And I'm like, I want that. I really want the Gardevoirs and Mega Evolution, but I really just wanted the Mega Frostlass SIR. Like that's my chase from that set. I don't want if I get the Gengar, that's cool and all, but I really want the Mega Frostlass because I really like Frostlass. But it's like, I couldn't get the Ascended Heroes because I had to spend money on my date. And I spent $200 that night, and I only had $200 in my account, so I literally couldn't have bought Ascended Heroes without looking like a broke fuck. It is what it is. But, more money for me now. But anyway, I went to this Pokemon pre-release tournament. And for those who are unaware, Pokemon sets release periodically, but they do tournaments at local card shops that you can get the cards early. And in this case, it is 2 weeks early. So I went to the card shop on Saturday, day before Mother's Day. That's why this episode's coming out late. Happy Mother's Day to all my mothers out there. If you're a mother, shout out you. You deserve the world. I love mothers. Keep that in mind. But I went to this card shop and I was surprised by the turnout. There were more people there than I thought there would be. There was 12 people, and the age demographic was quite wide. There were 2 kids and their mum. Mum was chill, kids were chill. They were helping everybody play the Pokemon card game because barely anyone knew how. But these 2 kids, 8, 9 years old, were absolutely goated. They were trying to help. I was playing against their mum in the first game of this tournament. And the mum and I were like, what's going on? She was teaching me how to play because I'd never played before. And the kids sat next to her because they were playing against each other and they finished really quick. And the kids just leaning over his mum's shoulder, telling him what to do. And it was so funny. It was so sweet. But, yes, they gave us these boxes. They had pre-made decks in them and 4 packs. And I got really cool cards from these packs. I was very happy. Maybe the best pulls I've hit from a base set, from a Mega Evolution set, other than my Gengar. So Chaos Rising might be my new thing, even though I don't like the set. I might have to start opening some. But it was fun. I actually enjoyed myself a lot more than I thought I would. The people there were chill, they were nice to talk to. Everyone was really friendly. And there was this one bloke there who was plugging his Instagram all the time. And he's pretty much a scalper. He won't say scalper because that doesn't sound good. But he's like, oh yeah, Pokemon's been my main source of income. It's been my full-time job for the last 5 years. He's like, I spent 15 grand on this collection the other day and I'm going to sell it for profit. And I'm like, holy shit, mate. And he's got these boxes of booster bundles, and booster bundles have 6 packs in them. So they should only be, they sell retail at $50. But they've sold out instantly, and people are upcharging the set so much. So I said to this bloke, because he got 5 of these things sat in his box. I say to him, I'm like, hey, mate, I got $110, which is a 100%, 120% upcharge on what I should be paying MSRP. So I'm already scamming myself, but I'm not really scamming myself because people sell these packs individually for $25 a pack. So I'm kind of getting a good deal here, but only on the fucking resale market price, not the MSRP, because this hobby has gone to shit with all the people scalping it. And it's a bad time to get into it. And I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy, and nobody's happy about this, except for the fucking chud virgins. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm very sorry. But this guy's like, no, I spent $105 on this box and it's only a $5 profit. And I'm like, bro, I've got the cash right here. You don't have to do anything. So then I'm like, how about 120? He's like, oh, you're tempting me. I'm like, fuck off. If you're not I'm like, dude, like, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna wait for restocks. Like, I'll just like, I've got mates in retail. I'm just gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna piss them off. Like, yo, when's the restock? Yo, yo. It's just so annoying. Like, I remember being younger, you know, like a child and shit. And there was like Crown Zenith just in EB Games and Target. And now that set's like hundreds of dollars. I mean, it has been 6 or so years since that set came out, but it's just like, like it's just like it's the final stage of capitalism, really. Just, you know, people taking like Logan Paul as well. Logan Paul's been so annoying recently with his PSA graded Shonen Jump volume, acting like he reads One Piece. I don't even read One Piece, and it's pissing me off. Like, why is he's ate the fucking lap fruit, bro. Like, why is this man acting like he cares about all this shit? Like, he's out here talking about, oh, I love One Piece. I love Luffy. Look at me, I'm Monkey D. Luffy. But you're not Monkey D. Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy wouldn't be hoarding half of the product of the Pokemon base set in your fucking Puerto Rico mansion because you're evading taxes. Oh my days. Oh my days. Yeah, but anyway, the Pokemon pre-release was fun. It was really nice to meet some of these blokes. Like, everyone was really helpful. Everyone was chill. And it was kind of disturbing, actually. Other than this one bloke, you know, like the fucking scalper dude who he stank. Like, I can't lie. He didn't move out of his chair. He was very robust, but he didn't leave his chair for 4 hours, pretty much. The event was only 2 hours long, but I'm pretty sure he'd been sat there for longer. But like, he gets up and he walks past me. I'm like, fuck, he stinks. Like, oh, it's like genuine wretched stank coming off this man. Like, oh my days. But anyway, what I was saying, there were these kids there before like while we were still like making our decks and everything, ripping the packs. And these kids are opening packs. Like, their mum's giving them money to open packs, and they've hit like a basic EX card. And EX cards, like, they're 1 in 5. Like, it's 1 in 5 packs have an EX card. So it's like rare, but like they're not worth anything really. And this kid hits just like a regular card, and he screams, "Oh my god, I'm up, mum, I'm up!" And I'm like, holy shit! Like, this is actually bad. Like, children are getting addicted to gambling through Pokemon cards, and you know, I'm probably addicted to gambling as is, but like, for it to be happening to children is really disturbing. And you know, these kids were not up. Like, they kept going to like the guy at the desk, going like, "Hey, how much can I get for this card?" He's like, "Mate, I'm not buying that off you. It's like 10 cents." And he's like, "No, are you sure? Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro." Like, it was funny, but like, it was really sad. Like, when you think about it, like, these children are probably growing up in an era where every hobby they're ever gonna have is just being used for profit. It's being scalped to the max. Like, there's gonna be no fun in these children's lives. And I hope something changes. I hope there's fun in children's lives. I don't think that's a controversial thing to say. But anyway, I'm probably going to keep going to these pre-releases as they happen because it was kind of fun. I enjoyed myself. And also, I'm making YouTube videos on Pokemon cards. I need to actually finish that. I need to go to a tournament with this deck that I have spent months building. I've spent over probably like, how much? Like, probably like 150, $200 making this deck. Just been buying a bunch of shit. And I need to actually use it. And I've got a Pokemon like player ID now. So do I need to like, should I just enter tournaments like the regional and like national ones? Like, I'm probably not going to get very far, but I don't know. I can't be that bad. But yeah. And I'm thinking I might take a gap year as well. I'm talking about me now. I'm talking about me. Media's gone. I'm talking about my media. I talk about Rolling Loud, David, Pokemon, the boys. Like, you know, I've had my time. But yeah. What was I even saying? Yeah, I reckon I'm taking a gap year next sem, maybe sem 2, sem 1, I don't know. Because I just feel like I need that time. I need that time to work on me. I need my time to work on my folio. I want to make my shitty YouTube videos. I want to make my shitty music. I want to make my shitty films. And they're not going to be shitty. They're going to be really good. I'm being humble right now. Like, I feel like I'm going to do well. Because I feel like I'm too embarrassed to make something bad. Like, I focus group my shit. Like, anytime I try to do anything, I like go to my mates. I'm like, "Hey, does this look good? Is this shit? Is this not?" Like, I will refuse to let myself make dog shit because I put it through so many people. And I probably am going to make dog shit. Like, I'm being realistic. Like, I'm not going to make something like a masterpiece on my first go. Like, I'm working. And even now, I'm learning. Like, this will probably come out better than the first episode. I mean, I'm talking to myself. Like, I don't have all the people to like depend on when I'm running out of breath and go, hey, please answer my question. Please talk to me. Like I'm monologuing right now to a camera. I mean, you're my pal. We're pals. We're pals here. We're pals. If you got to the end of this video, message me. Or if you're hearing this bit specifically, message me at eatmyonions9 on Instagram. Say, say KFC Clash. Message me just the word KFC Clash, and I'll give you $5. That offer's only limited for a week, so Tuesday, May 19th, that runs out. So I will not give you $5 after the 19th of May. Bad luck if you didn't listen to this, but you probably aren't. I'm just talking to a wall, I reckon. But I enjoy myself. I enjoy myself doing this. And I'll probably continue doing this for at least a year and a half. I don't know if Antea, the podcast director, is listening to this right now, but I'll be locked in. I'll be locked in. I'll actually make shorts next time. Maybe I'll make a short for this episode. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. If you have any issues with me or what I'm talking about, let me know. If you have any recommendations or something you think I should talk about next season, just hit me up on Instagram. Like, it's really that easy. I respond to most of my messages. Unless you're like that one guy who messaged me trying to get Gunner deported. I'm not responding to that. Like, this guy messages me on Instagram when Rolling Loud's happening. He's like, Gunner's a rat. Like, I want him deported. Like, because I was coming on this shit. Like, where's Cardi? Like, fuck Gunner. Like, we don't want Gunner. Like, where's Playboy Cardi? And this guy is responding to my shit, being like, when he DMs me on Instagram, he's like, fuck that Gunner rat. I want him gone. Like, fuck, help me out. Sign this petition. Like, we're going to get Gunner deported. Fuck that rat. And I'm like, whoa. Chill out there, champion. But I have been listening to Damn, Kendrick Lamar's album. You know, little fun fact for you. Since the Pulitzer Prizes began, they have had a category for music. And up until 2018, only classical music has ever won that award until Damn by Kendrick Lamar released and became the first non-classical album to ever win a Pulitzer Prize, which I think is really cool. And I think it's an album that deserves it. It's an album that tells a really compelling story about him going from money and drugs to finding God and finding peace within himself. And then if you listen to it backwards, it's the reverse of that. It's interesting conceptually. I like the music on it. I've been listening to Love and Pride and XXX a lot recently, which has been really cool to go back to some songs that I haven't listened to in a couple of years, especially considering the Drake-Kendrick beef has really like soured Kendrick's public perception for some reason. Like, people call him corny and shit just because he said mustard once. Like, it's weird, but you know, I guess if you're a celebrity under spotlight, you're always being scrutinized. But I won't know unless smash like for fame. Smash like. Anyway, I think that wraps up about all I had to talk about. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Anything you want to add, message me on Instagram, leave a comment. At eatmyonions9. I'm going to do that again. It's at eatmyonions9 is me. Tell me you hate me or you love me. I don't know. I don't really care. Just don't call me facially wabi-sabi because my ego cannot take that again. And I'm not forgetting that. And I know it was you, Sasaf J. Sekura. I know you wrote that fucking comment. You can say you didn't, but I know it was you. Anyway, follow MACS on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you watch your podcasts on. And thank you very much for watching and have a great rest of your day.